How have things?
Hello, everyone. This is Lorna Learns again with the Whitby Chamber of Commerce. Today, I have Sean Bernstein from The Right Stuff, one of our newer members to the Chamber. You've been with us, I think, a few months now. Welcome, Sean, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Lorna.
My pleasure. How did you transition? You've got a unique pivot. How did you transition from law to writing?
Sure. Well, actually, funny enough, I was a writer first, but I've been writing since I could hold a pen, really. And I was a journalist by training. I had an English degree, and then I went back to journalism school. I had tried it once before. I went back. I did a postgrad in journalism that I loved. So I learned to write for every different media under the sun. We were doing newspapers and TV and radio and magazines and web writing, just a whole cornucopia. I had a great time. Unfortunately, not a great job market. So law was kind of always on the back burner. And when I couldn't really make a go out of a writing career the first time, I fell into law. And I enjoyed parts of it for sure. And I practiced on and off for a couple of years as an employment lawyer. That was, when I first started, coming out to some chamber events. You guys knew me as a lawyer first. But I really was not happy on the whole. And I kind of said, life is too short to be unhappy. And I had always written, even when I was practicing, I was writing. I had a blog, a law blog explaining law in plain language that won a couple awards. And I was writing for firms that I was with and some other kind of clients on the side, just very piecemeal. And so when I was looking at what to do next, kind of questioning, going, hey, maybe there's something here. Because a lot of businesses need some help telling their stories. And so I said, oh, maybe that's something that I could do, actually explaining things that are a little bit more complicated in very plain language. And that's when the Right Stuff Agency was born.
That's amazing. And I have to say that I met you 3 years ago when I first started with the chamber. And although you were always very pleasant and very nice as an employment lawyer, you're a different cat now. You seem more open and more relaxed. So I think you made a wise choice. How can storytelling help business owners?
So really for business owners, the whole thing is keeping it simple, right? Your clients, your customers are not going to be the subject matter experts. They're not going to know every single niche of your product. They're not going to know every single, element of your practice or the latest technology that you're using or, your personal theories as to this or that, no matter what your business is. What do your clients and customers have to know? They have to know really what you do, why you're good at it, when they need you, and where and how they can find you. So it's really sort of answering those simple questions. And storytelling is a great way to get through to people. You can say to someone that, oh, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that. And it comes off as very sort of false and disingenuous. I don't think anybody really wants to, be marketed to like that. Instead, tell a story. Tell someone about a time that you really helped a client out of a similar situation. I was a lawyer. I worked with a lot of lawyers, and to me, cases in law, no one really cares about the legal theory, or clients don't care so much about the legal theory behind a case. They want to be able to read about a case and go, oh, that sounds like my situation. I really need to call this person. Or, oh, I have a sister, brother, cousin, friend, neighbor, what have you, who this sounds a lot like. So maybe they need to call this person. So stories are a really great way of actually making yourself relatable, showing that you understand the situations that your customers and clients may be facing, and showing how you can actually help. And there's some really great ways to do that to get fun and innovative while still capturing people's attention.
And I like that you said it's relatable because you're right. People will relate the story to somebody within their life. So that's a really good way to position that. Why is clear communication so important in marketing?
It's so important. There's so many professionals, and I work with a lot of professionals who have their own industry jargon and their own industry language. Like I said, I come from law, but it happens with real estate agents and accountants and financial professionals and anybody sort of, the health community. When you have an educational background and most of your friends or colleagues and classmates who have the same background, and so they're used to talking shop with each other, it is really surprisingly easy to forget that your clients don't have that same degree usually, and they don't understand what you're talking about always. So if you're trying to talk about something that's complicated, break it down. I talk to people about how we are all at one point in our lives, and many of us still are the shy kid in class. What's the shy kid in class? If the teacher's explaining something and you don't understand what's going on, and they ask if there's any questions, but no one else has a hand up, are you really going to be the one to raise your hand? Some people will, and good for them, and they're, the brave ones, but most of us just stay quiet and kind of hope that no one calls attention to us because we don't want to admit to when we can't understand something. So don't put your clients in a situation where they can't understand what you do or how you can help. Break down those terms, break down those concepts. There's no shame in being able to write simply and clearly. It doesn't make you look foolish. It doesn't make you look too simple. It means that you're a really good communicator who can actually tell people about what you do. And there's a real brilliance to that. So, use it.
Communication is key in so many levels. Well, thank you so much for explaining your company, The Right Stuff, to the membership. I did want to ask you a personal question so the membership can get to know a little bit more about Sean. I think it was pre-COVID when you got married
Hmm.
and you and your lovely bride did a few weeks, so I think it was in Italy.
Yeah, we did a honeymoon. Yeah, I remember skipping some chamber events for that one. I think that was when I missed Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
Jerry was at
I think it's like,
the Java Jolt the week that I was in an Italian hotel going. I can't believe I just missed. I saw it on the ship and I went, "Oh my goodness, I just
yeah,
missed Jerry Seinfeld." He sat right where I used to sit, right? He was
yeah,
about two
yeah,
feet away. So
yeah,
I would have met him for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we did a honeymoon, we did a Mediterranean cruise, and then did a week in Spain. It was just beautiful, thankfully pre-COVID.
Lovely, lovely. Now that we're coming out of COVID, what's your next venture with your lovely bride?
We actually now we're starting to plan travel again, which is wild. And she works in corporate events, so she'll actually be doing a fair bit of travel now that those are opening up. But we're doing a couple stateside trips this year, since friends in Chicago and such. And then next year we put off a Disney trip this year. That's going to happen next year. We're going to Scotland for a wedding next year. So the world is reopening, and we are here for it.
Wonderful, big plans. Well, once again, thank you so much on joining me on Lorna Learns. This will be up on LinkedIn tomorrow morning, and I think people will enjoy learning a lot about Sean and The Right Stuff. And thank you again.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Lorna. I appreciate it.